Hi everybody. Let me start by introducing myself. I'm David Stosik. I'm French. I've been living in Japan since 2010. Also like video games. I'm a Rails developer and I work at Cookpad in the global team. And well, if you want to ask me anything online, you can find me at David Stosik on GitHub or Twitter. First, a question. Who has a Shinsei Bank account in the room? Please raise your hands. I do. Who uses the internet banking? I do. How convenient is it? It's not. It's not. The login process is a pain. The interface itself is not great. English is good enough, I guess. But I don't like it. And with a friend, we needed to automate operations we wanted to do on our Shinsei Bank account, so we started to look around. And that's a lot of work. So let me go back and give you two disclaimers before starting my talk. This is my first talk, and you'll see. I prepared it really late. I actually just finished my slides, as some of you saw. Bugs are expected in my code. It's pretty fresh. A lot of it was actually written last weekend. I take no responsibility. We're talking about bank accounts, about money. If you use it, you use it at your own risk. Be careful. If you have questions, feel free to interrupt me. If you think it can wait, that will be better at the end of the talk. So yeah, automating some operations with my Shinsei Bank account, which is the topic of the talk. I'll start with a gem that I presented last Rails Meetup briefly, which is called Shinsei Bank Ruby. That's a pretty old gem that hasn't changed in 2 years and still works. Shinsei is not changing their internet banking so much, so that's good for us. It's actually, the initial version is actually not a gem, it's just a huge file with many methods to log in on my Shinsei internet banking, check my operations, or issue a transfer, for example. The file works, it's good enough, but I mean, it's good enough if you don't do a lot, but we actually wanted with a friend to do better, so we made it a gem. But before that, I'm going to explain how it works briefly. It's pretty amazing, actually. So maybe you recognize this form on the left, which is the login, the second part of the login form, the internet banking, where you actually have to input 3 characters that you will find in your security grid. But that's not what I want to look at now. I want to look at the right part over here. Sorry, I don't have a pointer. Here we go. Over here. Which is some JavaScript code. It doesn't look great, but if you rearrange that, you can find out that actually Shinsei is returning on the code of every page to load the list of variables that they initialize to the page. You basically get all the data that's displayed on the page, all the dynamic data displayed on the page, set up at the top of the page, global variables in JavaScript, which is great for us because it's a lot less parsing than parsing HTML. So for example, on this page here, you can see that at the top of the page, Shinsei is telling me the coordinates of the 3 characters on my grid, on my security grid that I need to input. So I don't have to go find that in the HTML. I also get a session ID, which is something I'm going to have to key on every request I do to Shinsei Bank to work. And that's the kind of requests that the browser is sending back to Shinsei. So it's always sending the request to liveconnect.dll, okay, with a session ID, as I told you, and many more parameters that just say what I want to do. Do a transfer, show me my operations, stuff like that. So the initial file written 4 years ago was just doing that. No gem, no command line interface. It was just providing methods, and you just include the file in your project and use the methods. With a friend who's not here today, as I said earlier, we forked it and made it a gem to go a bit further and maybe allow ourselves to do a bit more with it. Because we needed to automate operations. As you see here, it's now a gem. It also provides a CLI with a gem called Thor. I'll show briefly a bit later. And well, if you're interested in using it and maybe contributing to it, it's an active development, so feel free. Thor. Yeah, so Thor is the Ruby gem that facilitates creating CLI command line interfaces in Ruby. It's pretty powerful, and it doesn't require a lot of code to get CLI. So I'll take this file, for example. It's part of the gem that we wrote. Here you can see that I'm defining a method that's going to actually be one command of my CLI, which is giving me my transaction history. And I just have to define the options and a description on top of it. The options being, well, the dates, the limit dates from and to which I want to see my operations. And by just defining this method here, and some more boilerplate code, but nothing crazy, I can do this kind of stuff in my command line. So the first one you'll see, I'm just calling Shinsei Bank, and I'm just going to pretty help interface for my command line, which I think is nice. And also, if I go down further in the commands and subcommands, I can get more help. And I'll show you later the result I can get from one of those comments. But before that, one issue I had with the gem as it was is that I had to provide all my security passwords and the security card to the gem somehow. And the initial file was using YAML. And you had to write in the YAML file your account number, PIN code, password, and the whole security grid. I don't feel okay with having this file lying around on my hard disk unencrypted, which is why instead I'm using nth-chain, which is a small gem. Actually, I don't think it's a gem. A small command that was written by Soap, who is developer at Bootpad 2, which is going to store your secrets in either keychain on macOS or keyring, which is the equivalent on Linux GNOME, and provide them back as environment variables when you call it, but they're not. They stay encrypted on your hard disk. They're not clear, so I felt safer with that. So for example, to use nth-chain, first thing I'm going to have to do is to set a domain, a set of variables that I want to save. So here I'm setting the Shinsei Bank domain, and the variable names are follow. I got it here to make the fun video. And yeah, I just set them one by one, and there you go. Those variables are in my keychain now. They are encrypted, and anytime I can call them back and put them in my environment. See if they are here. And yeah, you can see that they are here in my environment. When I call, the callback is by just using chain domain name and the command I want to run within that environment. Here's the first example of my CLI. The first one here, well, I'm calling chain to be in my chain domain here. And I'm running Shinsei Bank account show, which basically shows my accounts. Obviously, I add my bank account numbers and balance. Sorry, but you can see that I have 2 accounts on my Shinsei account. And the second operation below is just to show my account history, and well, it works just as well. I had a few difficulties with working with this gem. One that took me many hours last weekend when trying to refactor it is encoding, because Shinsei doesn't take UTF-8. If I send the same request with my Ruby strings in UTF-8, the request is going to fail. Don't ask me the details though, because I don't know enough about that. But one thing I know is that I was using 2 UTF-8 to convert my the strings sent by Shinsei, which are not UTF-8 either. And turns out that that method converts half-width katakana to full width. So it means you're not sending back Shinsei the same thing that you got in. Like, for example, well, simplest thing, my account is a checking account, which in Japanese is futsu. And to design that, they use the half-width katakana fu. So I get that from Shinsei, re-encode it, and when I send it back to Shinsei, my next request, it's not half-width anymore. The request fails. So this is pretty critical to me, but I found an old Ruby documentation that was saying that instead of using UTF-8, you should use this code. I don't know what it does, but it works. Testing was another difficulty, obviously. You cannot just issue transfers to other people like this, especially after a few times it starts to cost money. But because Shinsei doesn't issue transfers after 3 p.m., they wait for the next day, you can start testing at 3 p.m. Issue transfers and you cancel them, but stop at 9 p.m. the next day, or you're going to start sending money to people. So far, I haven't talked about Rails. That was just Ruby. Next step was actually starting to automate things. Now I have a way, I have some kind of API to hook into Shinsei. I wanted to automate a simple thing that maybe other people here need. I want to pay my rent every month, and I don't want to have to connect on internet banking and make sure that I'm not making any mistakes in the amount and choosing the right recipient for that transfer. So I want to automate that. But at the same time, I don't want to be scared about it. I don't want to think maybe it's going to issue the same transfer twice, or maybe it's not going to work well. So my goals are multiple here. Obviously, I want to automate the transfer. I want to keep it open to evolutions if there are other transfers I want to automate, or maybe I want to do more with it. I want, first of all, to avoid issuing the same transfer multiple times. I don't want to pay my rent 3 times. I want it to be secure. I talked about it before. I don't want my credentials to lie around in here, and I don't want my Rails application to be vulnerable either. And as a way to mitigate those fears, it would be nice if I can keep the last step of the transfer manual. Like the easier the better. But if it's manual and if I have the last word on it, I'm sure nothing more could happen. The solution I went with is a scheduler that is going to check every day if there's a new transfer I want to issue. So I'm going to have a list of transfer schedules, and the scheduler is going to check every day if I have something new I want to send. And for each new transfer I want to issue, it's going to keep a record of that and send me an email asking me, do you want to make this transfer? By just clicking OK on this email, transfer is done. I don't want to have to log in. I don't want to have to go to some internet banking. I want it to make it as simple as possible, which means that this Rails applications is actually going to have almost no UI. And it's available on GitHub if you want to have a look. But I'm going to present a couple of things that I needed to use for this Rails application. First thing I needed to do was to set up one-time links. The application is sending me an email with a link that I can use to issue the transfer. I don't want to be able to click the same link twice, to issue the transfer twice. So basically, I'm attaching a token to those URLs, and I discovered that Rails 5 has an easiest way to attach tokens to models, which is called a secure token. So I'm going to show some more code now. First page here, you can see my one-time link model. Sorry, which basically has a path in the token and a date storing when it was used. So here I'm creating links that know if they were used or not, and that have a token so that they are secure and can just be hit by anyone else. And my model here, which is here calling a secure token. So basically what this is going to do is every time I create or instantiate a new one-time link, it's going to generate a secure random token for this thing, which is the token I'm going to be using later. A few more methods on my model, but nothing really interesting. Here I have a controller concern, which is the part that's going to help me ensuring that the same link is not clicked twice. So what this concern is going to do here, this is the main part here, authorize once. It's going to first try to load the one-time link that is associated to the request. So it's going to load it with the path and the token. And first of all, if it doesn't find it, it means that nobody issued a one-time link for this request, so it's refused. Second thing is, if the link was already used, it's refused too. Else, it's going to mark this request as used so that it doesn't happen again. And to use this concern in my controller, I only have one thing to do, which is here include the concern and say my action authorize once. Here, by saying this, I'm saying this action can only happen if a one-time link was issued and the token is valid and it was not used again. It was not used already, sorry. And if this fails, an exception is raised and rescued here. Nothing special about this, but it means it's not going to continue to transfer execute here, which is the part that's actually going to issue the transfer. Just for reference, my routes, this is the final application code, and my route actually only has, my routes file only has this route. I don't need anything else for the application to work the way I intended it to. Okay, yeah. So that was about making my links unique and not use voice. Next about scheduling. So there's many ways to do scheduling. You can use a cron job. Cron job is going to allow you to set the day or the hour you want a task to run. But I wanted something a bit more smart, something that could allow me, for example, to say, I want to issue my transfer on the third Monday of the month, or the day before last of the month. And it's a bit harder to do with the contract. Fortunately, there's a gem for that too. It's called IceCube. You've got a link. Its purpose is to model schedules, like calendar events with or without recurrence. Perfect. My rent is a recurring event. Has a pretty powerful rule system, and cherry on the cake, serializes to YAML, which is good because I can store that in my database. So to use this this gem, I first had to define my transfer schedule model, which is what in my database is going to keep track of the transfers I want to send, for example. And this schedule model here has a schedule attribute, which is going to be my IceCube schedule. The good thing is that IceCube responds to serializing methods, IceCube schedule does. So by just adding this line here, when I do my object.schedule, instead of getting a YAML string, I'm going to get an IceCube schedule object. So I get automatic serialization and deserialization. That doesn't look good. So this is my Ruby console and just a few experiments with IceCube. Here you can see I'm creating a schedule that starts this morning at 9. And on this line below, I'm setting a recurrence rule on it, which says monthly day of month minus 3. That means third day starting by the end of the month. So this month would be the 29th. February would be the 26th. And it has the useful methods like occurs on, which is going to tell me if there's an occurrence of that schedule today or on any day I check. So for example, the schedule I set above doesn't occur today, but it occurs on July the 29th. And as I was saying earlier, schedule implements the dump method, which returns the YAML serialized that is stored in the database. And with just a little bit more magic, like setting my daily rate task that is actually going to check the database, my schedules, and check if there's a new transfer to issue, and the mailer to send my one-time links, then there you go, you got it on the right email with my phone telling me you got a new transfer to send. Here's who I'm going to send it to, how much I'm going to send. Just click here to send it. And by just clicking this link, the transfer is issued on Shinsei Bank, and I have nothing to worry about anymore. Conclusion. Yeah. First of all, the limits of this thing I built. Well, first of all, it's on Shinsei Bank and it's not modular. Would be nice in the future if I could extract the generate parts about the bank account, about operations, about transfers, and make it simple to build similar APIs for other banks. Maybe other banks are providing JavaScript in their first line of responses, or maybe you can implement an HTML parser that's going to fetch the right things in the code and get something that works with other bank accounts. sad thing, number 2, Shinsei is updating their internet banking. They told me about that. You received a newsletter recently and apparently scheduled for August. They're going to run the old one for a while, but have to start again with a new interface for it. Also, the solution I have right now doesn't have any interface to manage, create, delete my schedules. I actually had to open a Rails console to create my schedule in production. I could also have a database down, something like that. And also, the application I have right now works only for one account. It doesn't have user system, it doesn't even have an account system. It has one account. That's it. So maybe there's a way to improve on that too. What I learned, what I learned is that you can use website crawls to build APIs. It works pretty well. That was really surprising, and it's a lot easier than parsing HTML and having a new parser for any page that you want to load. I learned to use Core to build command line interfaces, which relieves a pain that I had before when I was trying to build my own CLIs. I learned I can use IceCube to schedule events, and I'm sure it's going to help in many other tasks. And I learned about the Rails 5 as secure token, which is just a simple thing that was a bit harder before, but it's nice. And that's it for me. I have no idea how long it was. I hope that was okay. If you have any question, what would you ask? Yes, Matt.
I actually have a comment. So,
yes.
For your recurring interface, where you want to basically set
yes.
when it recurs, there's a cool gem called Recurring Select,
right.
which
yes.
uses IceCube.
Yes, there's a gem that's built for IceCube that's going to give you a JavaScript interface to select your calendar events, select how many times it recurs, what exceptions, what month. It's one.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next step is building an interface to manage my scheduled transfers. I'll definitely use that gem.
Sorry, what was it called again?
Recurring Select. So recurring_select.
The link to that GitHub repo is actually on the IceCube README file too. So, anything else? Yes.
So I saw you had a URL to a Heroku app.
Yes.
Does this mean you actually have your bank credentials in Heroku?
Actually, not yet, because I didn't tell you, but I haven't tested it. I mean, I have tested the app, it works. I have tested the gem that does the transfers, and it works too, but I haven't plugged them together yet.
Okay.
I'm thinking about what would be the best solution about that, because either I'm going to have my credentials stored in Heroku environment variables, or I'm going to have an encryption key on Heroku and my credentials encrypted on the database, which is not better because if there's a key on Heroku, you can decrypt it. But either way, if Heroku is able to run my app, they're going to have to be able to see my credentials. So I'm thinking about what would be the best. Maybe I'm just going to run it on one old computer at home.
I mean, you don't necessarily need to run it on an internet accessible computer. You could just run it. You could just run it on your own computer.
Yeah, I can run it on my own computer, but it has to have access to the internet to run the last
outgoing access.
Yes, which is the part that needs the credentials. Yeah, I can run it on a computer at home or my laptop. That's a safer alternative. But
there is a
good.
cloud-friendly credential storage thing for HashiCorp. I think it's called
Vault. We're using Vault at Cookpad, that's pretty nice, yeah. But going back to your question, any company that uses Heroku can trust them in a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just like a trade-off, right?
I mean, you have your Rails secret key, your Rails app secret key is on Heroku. and anything that you can decrypt in your database can be decrypted on Heroku. Any admin at Heroku will open a Rails console on your app and do whatever they want with your app, right?
I don't think so. I don't think Heroku actually necessarily they have physical access, so they could defeat their security. But
I think he means if you have access to the Heroku box at all,
that's
like you're already in. So
I mean, I'm not giving more trust in Heroku by giving them my bank credentials than giving them my company's data.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, there's two sides of the equation on like what you're getting back from it as well.
Yeah, sure.
And
Yes. Yeah.
is
Okay.
it
Okay.
worth
Yeah.
sharing your bank credentials for
Is it worth taking the risk for just a monthly transfer that's a pain in the ass?
versus,
yeah,
I don't know, maybe the new version I should say will actually have reoccurring transfers in there.
yeah. What could be
Yeah, maybe.
what could be cool for banks to do is to become OAuth providers, and
That would
then
be nice.
yeah, then you can just authorize your application to make like certain requests, and so you can say like, my application can only do these requests, but you only have the OAuth token. You don't actually have any of your bank credentials.
some banks have actually a separate credential for APIs now, at least in the
Oh, they
past.
do?
Yeah, it's not common probably in Japan, I would imagine, but
Maybe in 20 years.
I already have that on some US banks that I work with in Mint, for example.
Yeah,
They use a token that's not your password.
Monetary, which is supposed to gather all your bank accounts data on interface, requests you to input your credentials for Shinsei Bank to get your transaction history. But that's an interesting thing I didn't talk about. The mobile version of the Shinsei Bank website, internet banking, doesn't require your security card unless you trigger an operation that needs it. So you don't need a security card to actually consult your transaction history. You can log in on the Shinsei mobile app with just password and account number. And as soon as you're going to try to issue a transfer, they're going to require a security card at that point. Anything else? Well, thank you then. Thank you for listening. And if any one of you is interested in speaking at the next Rails Meetup, then feel free to talk to Matt or me. Please do.
yes.